$1,000 per year. That's the cost, as well as, of course, the hassle and maybe stigma and embarrassment of sitting down with a mandatory psychiatric exam to be given. If you want to practice your constitutional rights in this, I'll give it to them. Reasonably novel approach to stopping you from trying to carry firearms. What the heck am I talking about? Guys, let's get into it. So Santa Clara County, that's right, we are in the People's Republic of California, as some like to say. $2,000, that's the approximate total cost of what it is to apply for a carry permit application. That's right, if you want to practice your constitutional rights, I hope you got those greenbacks with you, because the poors, this isn't for you. You can stick to your speech, you can stick to some other things, but firearms, well, you got to be part of the elect if you want to have something like that, I suppose, right? This is, of course, comprising the $976 application fee, the mandatory $500 psychological evaluation, $400 training course, not to mention fingerprinting costs. The permit is valid for 2 years. 2 years. Renewal costs are approximately $850 every 2 years. By the way, that also requires an 8-hour recertification course because, hey, if we're already just going to be slamming people's face into the ground, why not? Right? Why not? California's great at this sort of thing. Now, no other California county, to their credit right now, requires a mandatory psychological exam just for the audacity of trying to practice your constitutional rights. Here we're talking about obtaining a concealed carry license. California law does give sheriffs discretion to order psychological evaluations in specific cases where mental fitness maybe is in question, but Santa Clara has applied that discretionary tool universally to every single applicant, regardless of any individual concern. Now, thankfully, and predictably, there's already been a lawsuit filed called Blank versus Santa Clara County Sheriff's Department, which challenges both the fee structure as well as the notion of a universal psychological exam between you and exercising your constitutional rights. The plaintiffs are arguing, those are the good guys, just so we're clear, the plaintiffs are arguing that the fees constitute effectively a wealth qualification that prices out law-abiding citizens who, don't have $1,000 per year just to exercise their rights. The mandatory psychiatric evaluation is also challenged on the grounds that there is no statutory authority nor any constitutional grounds for conditioning and making it a prerequisite for the exercise of a fundamental right, first upon submission to a psychological testing for every applicant without evidence and good cause. I've said it before, I guess I'll just say it again because why not? Imagine if we applied this to any other right. Like, I don't know, voting. Imagine if you had to pay money for vote. Oh, wait. Right, we tried that and it was struck down as being unconstitutional. No poll taxes, right? Imagine if we said, hey, before you're going to be out there wanting to express your thought to a city council, right? On city council night in your local municipality, you got to spend $2,000 and get a full psychological evaluation, right? Imagine if they did that. Before you posted something on Twitter, on social media, you need that $1,000 per year license, or else you can't just have free speech. Are you kidding me? It's only called free speech in theory. In practice, you got to pony up $1,000 and go through the full day-long class. Right? Imagine if cops could just stop and search your car, search your backpack, search your phone, or better yet, just bust into your home, your apartment, because hey, you didn't pay the $1,000, I don't want to have my home ransacked, therefore I need the Fourth Amendment tax, which is effectively, you can see how this actually patterns out and what it looks like and how ridiculous this is once we start to, take the reasoning and migrate it elsewhere. Now, thankfully, there's this group of people. They're called the United States Supreme Court. And back in 2022, among many other times, by the way, I'll Just hasten to add that. Back in 2022, there was a case called New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruen. This is important. You need to know about this. The Bruen case established that government cannot just use subjective, discretion-based tests to gatekeep concealed carry permits, which, by the way, your ability to carry a firearm in public to protect yourself is absolutely a constitutional right, according to the Bruen case. The so-called good cause standard, so in other words, you have to prove that you have good cause to need a concealed carry license, died back in June of 22 when the Bruen case was issued. Now, the lawsuit in Santa Clara argues that the new law in Santa Clara County has effectively rebuilt and reconstructed a functional equivalent subjective standard. You pass or fail the psychiatric exam, which I don't know what's in that psychiatric exam. I'd be curious to hear about it, actually. But you pass or fail, you see, at the county's discretion. Does that sound suddenly very discretionary? Does that sound subjective? Does that sound like something that maybe the United States Supreme Court said you can't do? Now, for what it's worth, other counties in California, this is the data I've got. Sacramento County charges approximately $48 for the initial concealed carry license application. San Diego, Los Angeles, and other major California counties charge significantly less than Santa Clara and require no psychological exam. The fee disparity doesn't seem to have an explanation based on processing costs. It's explained by the county's seeming and apparent explicit desire to limit permit issuance and, at a minimum, don't let the poor practice their constitutional rights. I don't know how else to look at it. Now, the prior sheriff in Santa Clara County was removed from office following a civil jury finding of corruption involving favoritism in concealed carry license permit issuance. Who could have seen that coming? What I've been told, do your own research, but what I've heard is that this was a literal pay-to-play scheme where political donation disclosures may or may not have had an influence on permit approvals. Now, the complaint now in the current case also just notes the fact that, hey, current application process strongly implies that campaign contribution disclosures may or may not be a part of the process of you getting a concealed carry license, which of course just cycles back to First Amendment concerns alongside Second Amendment challenge. I don't know how much has changed in Santa Clara County, but here we are. But now enters some of the heroes of our story, the California Rifle and Pistol Association. They are calling this lawsuit part of what they're terming the CCW Reckoning Project. This is a systemic legal campaign to force every resistant California jurisdiction to, actually comply with the Constitution and the United States Supreme Court. If Blank versus Santa Clara wins, it doesn't just fix one county, it will also send a clear legal signal to every sheriff's office across the state, up and down the West Coast, as well as hopefully in other states as well, that you cannot just price citizens out of their constitutional rights. $2,000 a psychological exam plus an all-day course that is more money, more time off of work, you name it. We're gonna keep watching this one. It matters. I appreciate you sticking with me. That matters as well, I promise you. Be sure to hit that like button. Let me know down below, what do you think about this and what other horrible examples across the country can you find of insane concealed carry application processes? I want to know about it because I'm more than happy to shine a light on it, get some attention. Hopefully something good can come out of that, as hopefully something good can come out of this. Our quote of the day comes from Samuel Adams, who said, quote, "The Constitution shall never be construed to prevent the people of the United States who are peaceable citizens from keeping their own arms." End quote. If only it were that simple, Sam Adams. If only it were that simple. I appreciate you sticking around. I'll see you in the comments section and in the next one. Take care. Thanks for joining us on that video. And if you liked that one, then I think you're gonna like these over here too.